What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and today I'm back to talk about Warhammer 40K once again. So this whole week we'll be getting the indexes for free from GW so we can play Warhammer 40K 10th edition finally. The points are going to come at the end of the week, but throughout these following days we'll be getting all the rules, the stats, the data sheets for all of the armies. Today they released all the ones of the Space Marines, such as the Space Wolves, the Blood Angels, the Dark Angels, etc. However, since these are so close to coming out, we've been getting leaks from other factions. Today I will be talking about two of those data sheets that are leaked, and you gotta keep it secret, and if you don't, then your world is gonna become terminated. And that's because we're talking about the Grey Knights. The secrecy of the Grey Knights has to be kept, so please don't tell GW I'm giving you guys this information. So without further ado, let's go ahead and learn about none other than Kaldor Drago and the Nemesis Dread Knight. So let's start off by looking at the stats here. So nothing too crazy. He's got movement and toughness of 5, save of 2 up, 7 wounds, 6 up leadership, and an OC of 1. He is donning Terminator armor, so that's why we see the reduction in movement, but a benefit in his toughness. Save of 2 up is standard there. 7 wounds should keep him going for quite a while. Normally he has an invulnerable save of 3 up, however in this edition it has degraded to a 4 up save, so he's not going to be living as long as he normally should, but still he has something really great under his sleeves, and that is the one with the warp ability. It's a psychic power that you can use once per battle. When this model's unit declares a charge in the same turn it was set up as reinforcements using Deep Strike, you add 3 to the charge roll. This is amazing, because when you arrive via Deep Strike, obviously you gotta be set up 9 inches or more away from any enemy units. But right here, you're adding 3 to that. So essentially, you only need to roll a 6 to get into charge range of the enemy. This is going to be huge, because obviously, this is where Drago needs to be, in close combat. So let's go ahead and look at his weapons to see what he can do once he reaches that. So for his melee weapon, he has the Titan Sword. He keeps this weapon from previous editions, nothing new here. It is anti-demon 2+, meaning it hits against demons on a 2 or higher, and it has the psychic P-word as well. It is 6 attacks, weapon skill 2, strength 8, AP -4 at 3 damage. So once again, this guy will be a bruiser on the battlefield once you get into close combat. Looking at his ranged weapons, he still has the Storm Bolter, which is rapid fire 2, range 24, 2 attacks at BS2, strength 4, no AP and 1 damage, nothing new here. And for his psychic ability, he has Scourging, which is anti-demon 2+. It ignores cover, and it's a psychic power. Range of 18, 3 attacks, BS2, strength 6, AP -2, 2 damage. So he's got a lot going for him in both range and close combat, but definitely you want to get to use his ability, one with the warp, to get in there and hit hard with that strength 8, 3 damage sword. Now he also has one more ability known as the Untouchable Purity. When this model is leading a unit, models in that unit have a Feel No Pain 4 up against mortal wounds. So mortal wounds will be coming up a little bit here and there, especially if you're fighting against like other psychic armies. But for the most part, this is going to be really good. And just imagine Drago with a squall of paladins. That is going to be a very tough unit to crack, especially if there's an apothecary in there. So just like previous editions, Drago is a powerhouse, although he did get nerfed just a little bit with his invuln save going to a 4 up. But still, this guy seems to be really powerful. We have to wait and see as to how many points he will be, but nonetheless, I like what I'm seeing here. So let's go ahead and talk about the other entry that was leaked, the Nemesis Dread Knight. Looking at the stats, they've got a movement of 8, toughness 8, 2 up save, 13 wounds, leadership 6, and an OC of 4. So here we can see this guy is a monster. He's going to be moving faster, he's going to be tanking wounds, and he's got quite a bit of them to boot, so he's not going to be going down fairly quickly. Let's go ahead and look at his abilities. He's got the Empiric Reprisal Psychic ability, meaning that this model is eligible to shoot and declare a charge in a turn in which it advanced or fell back. So that's going to be really great to just keep the damage coming. He does have that Teleport Assault ability, as well as Deep Strike and Deadly Demise D3. Now, since he does have 13 wounds, he does have a kind of degrading stat line, where if he has 1 to 4 wounds remaining, each time it makes an attack, you subtract 1 from the hit roll. Which we kind of saw this coming, because that seems to be the case for a lot of these hard-hitting warriors of the Imperium. Invuln save is that of a 4-up, but it could probably be increased with other psychic powers. But let's go ahead and look at the weapons. Nothing new here, they keep the same armament as 9th edition. Gatling silencers, heavy incinerators, heavy psi cannons. You could look at the stats here yourself, nothing pretty crazy. When it comes to melee weapons, of course they all start with the Dread Fists, and then you can give them a Demon Hammer, a Great Sword, and the Great Sword is probably the one you want to stick with because of the strike and sweep abilities. So obviously if you're hitting with a strike, you're hitting at a harder strength 10, but you don't have that many attacks, whereas with the sweeping ability, you're hitting with 10 attacks at strength 5. So you really got to see what you're going up against to see what ability of the sword you want to use. Otherwise, I'd say go ahead and just stick them with Dread Fists, keep them cheap, because still strength 6, 6 attacks, that's a lot. But the sword is going to be the one most people are going to stick with. Unless you know you're going up against like heavy tank army or a very elite force, the Great Hammer would do wonders here. Especially since you are hitting at strength 14 with a d6 plus 1 damage for all those attacks. All those attacks being 5. Now partner that with its ability, and you're going to be going into charge range fairly quickly. You can fall back and shoot and charge. That's really awesome with this character. So Nemesis Dread Knights are also going to be probably an auto include. I wouldn't be surprised if almost every army list has at least 1 or 2 of these guys here. But I'm super excited to see what the rest of the data sheets for the Grey Knights are in the following days. Let me know what you think about the Grey Knights. Are you excited as you were back in 9th edition? Because in 9th edition they got a huge buff and they were really powerful. But now that everything seems to be coming down in the power creep scaling for 40k, I feel like they're sitting in a good spot. Although I don't like that they're kind of going further away from being a psychic army. They seem to just be more about just being powerful all around and not focusing on being what they are in the lore, and that is awesome psychers. But again, we don't know much just yet. We have a whole codex to see, because the indexes are just about like 60% of what an army could be. There's a bunch of detachments and other special rules that we'll be seeing in the future, so we'll have to wait and see there. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down below, and as always, if you like what we do here at One Mind Syndicate, subscribe, like, comment, share, and if you want to support us even more so, you can hit us up on our Patreon page and pledge a simple $1 a month, or a super thanks would be greatly appreciated here on YouTube. It has been the Sound Alchemist, part of One Mind Syndicate, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.